to invite my esteemed panelist, Dr. Anurita Srivastav, Dr. Narendra Bhalla, Dr. Robin Khosa, Dr. Anu Tiwari, Dr. Vikas, Dr. Arun Verma, Dr. Shikha Goyal, Dr. Aanchal Agarwal, and Dr. Arun Agarwal. Is everybody present for the panel discussion? I can see Dr. Vikas here.
Present, sir. Dr. Aanchal here.
Yes, Dr. Aanchal. Good evening.
Sir,
So,
Good evening, sir. Dr. Anu is also here.
ma'am, good evening. How are you?
Fine. How are you?
All well, ma'am. All well. So let's start.
I think Dr. Bhalla is here.
Dr. Narendra.
He is not here. Dr. Robin. Dr. Robin. Shikha. Shikha Goyal, are you here?
I think Dr. Shikha is also not here, sir.
Dr. Arun Agarwal.
Dr. Shikha is here.
Dr. Shikha, are you here?
Yes, sir, I am here.
Good. Dr. Arun Agarwal. So Dr. Ashok, Dr. Narendra Bhalla, Dr. Robin, and Dr. Arun Agarwal is not here.
So Dr. Robin is there. Dr. Robin is there.
Dr. Robin is there?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay.
Okay, so let's kickstart the panel discussion, and the panel discussion for today is quite interesting. Radiation therapy in post-radical prostatectomy. We all know that prostate cancer has claimed lives of many, and many celebrities have also succumbed to this. So when a patient goes to a radiotherapy equipment, so patient says this doesn't look very therapeutic, so we say try and relax, we give radiation. So for the panel discussion, I have a patient of 75-year-old who is diabetic, post-radical prostatectomy, P-T2N1M0, now referred for radiation therapy after 3 months of surgery. Now, role of adjuvant versus salvage. So as far as the cancer stats is concerned, this is the latest stats from 2020 from NCRP India. And this says that prostate cancer will be having, in 1 in 125 person will have the cumulative risk of developing a CA prostate. We all know the risk stratification. And may I ask our panel that one size fits all treatment is not appropriate in node positive CA prostate. Do you agree with that? May I invite Dr. Anu ma'am to kindly.
So, we cannot say that one treatment is fitted for all, because we have to see whether the margins are positive or not. And in the previous discussion, we have discussed in detail about the role of radiation therapy, adjuvant therapy, and salvage therapy. So definitely one treatment is not fit for all kind of patients.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you. I think our panel discussion has been made easier by the previous discussion by Dr. Amal and Dr. Vish. So I think we can skip too many slides out here. So elderly patient, treatment guidelines. What factors do you think should be included in the treatment of carcinoma prostate in case of elderly patients? Dr. Arun, would you like to take that question?
Please unmute yourself.
Yeah, hi. Since this patient already underwent radical prostatectomy, so I think the fitness and life expectancy, the part is already covered. But in general, in a elderly patient, we generally do the G8 scoring and see the fitness, whether he is fit or frail, and based on that we take decision for local therapy or further therapy.
Okay, So for elderly patient, these are the SIO guidelines which has been endorsed by the EAU and ISTRO. So the points which are to be noted are risk of over and under treatment, comorbidities, cognitive function, family care, financial status, access to services, and comprehensive geriatric care. But the most important factor which I could deduce from these guidelines was that treatment should be based on the chronological age, not on the biological age and health status of the patient. So coming to the imaging modality, obviously this patient has been operated, but what imaging modality would you have preferred? A CT, MRI, PET CT, or a PSMA PET? Dr. Aanchal, would you like to take this question?
Sir, 3 months after the surgery, I would actually not investigate the patient further. Like if the patient has been sent for adjuvant radiotherapy, but I would like to know the details of the initial PSA as well as the margin status and group grade of the patient, as he has PT2N1 disease, but rest of the informations are missing, which tells us whether the patient is going to fail very soon, or like we can wait for the early salvage in this patient.
Yes, very correctly said that at 3 months post radical prostatectomy, we should have more details. But since it is a virtual patient, like this virtual conference, so we can.
I think only imaging modality. I would not go for any imaging modality post radical prostatectomy until or unless we are seeing PSA recurrence or persistence.
Very correct. Very correctly said. But just to give it just that PSMA PET is obviously scoring high when we are evaluating a CA prostate. So coming back to the topic again, so which option would you choose? In a 75-year-old male, node positive, PN1, observation or active surveillance, ADT alone, ADT with adjuvant RT, or RT alone? Dr. Robin, are you there?
Yeah. Sir, as you rightly said here, age, the biological age is much more important, and the patient's comorbidities are very important to understand and advise what further treatment line of action you should be considering. Had it been a node negative disease, the case would have been pretty simple. We would have better kept this patient, considering this as an early, since our fellow consultant has gone for a radical prostatectomy. And assuming that it was all margin negative, we would have gone for observation. But if it is a lymph node positive, some sort of androgen therapy should be, hormonal therapy has to be considered in this.
Would you consider only ADT in this patient?
In my practice, yes, as Dr. Aanchal again said, there are many other factors which you have to consider. The overall grading of the disease. The intermediate grade, high risk would certainly warrant an adjuvant radiation as well in this case.
Okay, if it is a case of very high intermediate risk, then?
Look, an N1 is a little more confusing compared with the recent studies which have come, most of these recent studies have covered diseases which were node negative while considering the question of adjuvant versus salvage therapy. The question of N positive, node positive has only been dealt with one or trials, which were a little older trials. And so that dilemma still remains, that when we should be considering for it.
Good. Great, sir. Great. Point taken. And if you have to give only ADT, would you consider it for 6 months or 3 years? Dr. Vikas, would you like to take this question?
Considering proven lymph node metastasis, this case will fall into high risk of metastasis category. So I would like to go for long-term androgen suppression with 24 months to 30 months at least.
Yes. So I also concur with you that in a patient who is node positive, patient should be considered for a long-term ADT, and ADT alone should not be advised, but some sort of other local therapy should also be given. Do you agree with this?
Definitely, but we'll have to keep a close monitoring of serum PSA
Yes.
And adjuvant, rather early salvage RT, I would prefer with a patient like comorbidity with diabetes rather than adjuvant RT. And we have plenty of evidence in favor of early salvage rather than adjuvant RT in such patients.
Correctly
I
said.
just differ with Dr. Vikas in this. Like if this is a same patient has margin positive resection with the group grade of 4 or 5, and if initial PSA is was more than 30, then I would have gone for adjuvant RT also in this patient, considering that these patients, like more than 90% of these patients do relapse after radical surgery. So had other features been like mentioned in the histopathology, then I would have gone for adjuvant in this case. But since all this information is missing, then we can keep this patient on ADT alone also. And wait for
Considering all the
No,
factors.
even if you go through the artistic meta-analysis
Yeah.
covering all the study of rapes, radical and GTEC F17 studies,
EN1 patients
salvage
like
RT is non-inferior to adjuvant RT in all this. Even
but
if
none
you-
of the trials have, as Dr. Robin also mentioned, they were all having PN0 or PNX disease. None of the trials have
Yeah.
addressed the issue of PN1.
So I'll cut
There
you
will
off.
I think RT in this case is must. We will go ahead with the RT also, because if you see the indication of adjuvant RT, what are if disease is extra prostatic and node positive, that means it is already in a extra prostatic and metastatic stage. RT will aid the biochemical control as well as give a metastasis free survival also
Dr. Arun,
by
rather
RT plus ADT is my choice. In this case,
rather
I
I would
will
give importance
not
to
wait
systemic
for
treatment.
other factor also.
Dr. Arun, rather I would give importance to some systemic treatment like ADT in this
Yeah,
setting, nodal metastasis.
both are needed in this case.
So in this case, node positive disease, I agree with all the panelists right now, because some form of neoadjuvant ADT has to be given, adjuvant ADT has to be given. So this is the guideline, this is from NCCN, I have taken a snapshot that immediate and continuous use of ADT in patient with positive nodes following radical prostatectomy resulted in significantly improved overall survival compared to those who received delayed ADT. So these patients should be considered for immediate LHRH agonist, LHRH antagonist, or a orchiectomy also. EBRT may be added, in which case ADT options are as of neoadjuvant, concurrent, and adjuvant. So I think we should leave it at that. And ADT with RT is definitely the treatment of choice in this patient. I hope all my panelists agree with this.
Right. Yes.
Exactly.
So radiation therapy definitely gives an afterglow. So now coming to the important questions. What does adjuvant therapy versus salvage therapy means? Dr. Arun, would you like to take this question?
Adjuvant means if it is delivered because of some based on pathological feature, if we giving even in a undetectable prostate after RT, after surgery, then it is defined adjuvant RT, and it up to 1 year it can be called adjuvant RT. Salvage RT, when the biochemical recurrence is happened or there is a gross disease left behind, then it is called salvage RT.
Very correctly said, sir. Very correctly
Yeah.
said. And what is the importance of serum PSA post radical prostatectomy? Dr. Anurita, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Please.
So, sir, ideally after radical prostatectomy, the PSA levels should be undetectable. By undetectable, we means that they should be less than 0.1 nanogram per ml. So they could be 0.001 or 0.01, that is okay. But anytime when they start rising and there are 2 consecutive increases beyond 0.2 nanogram per ml, that is the time when you need to start acting. So that is what they will be required for an early salvage.
Correctly said, ma'am. Correctly said. And what kind of radiation dose would you be considering? Dr. Anu Tiwari, ma'am, would you like to take this question?
Dr. Ashok, I think we generally follow 66 gray in 33 fraction. And in this case, I will prefer prostate only radiotherapy. And if there is any other information, like how many nodes were dissected and what margin was positive or not, and if there is any pre-op radiology available, we can increase or decrease the dose based on that information.
So generally you would consider between 66 to 70 gray. That is the kind of dose
Yes.
which you are considering. Right,
Yes.
ma'am.
We have another 5 minutes left.
Yeah, I'll be coming up soon. These are the only 5-6 questions which I have. And what kind of target volumes, Dr. Robin, would you take this question?
Sir, we'll definitely treat the tumor bed, the prostate prostate bed, the post-op prostate bed, and the lymph node till the level of S1, L5, S1, L5, S1 junction in this case.
Correctly said, sir. Correctly said. And what are the prognostic variables, Dr. Vikas?
So prognostic variables, like already discussed,
Yes,
I'd
we have
like to know the positive margins, extracapsular extension, baseline PSA, and Gleason score kind of thing. And apart from these, number of lymph nodes, of course, I would like to know.
Say considering around 4 lymph nodes are positive up to L5, S1 level.
Yeah. Then I would like to treat whole pelvis as well to certain dose like 45 to 50 gray, and then boost to primary like prostate bed up to 60 to 66 gray.
Okay, so you have answered my next question also. Elective pelvic lymph node dose you have already answered. So what percentage of nodes are found to be pathologically node positive at the time of radical prostatectomy? Dr. Shikha, would you like to take this question? This is very important.
For a clinical node negative, nearly 15% may turn up positive on pathology. But if a PSMA PET has been done upfront, we may actually convert some node negative detected by routine MR or CT to positive before surgery itself.
Correctly said, ma'am. Correctly said. And should pelvic lymph node dose volume be based on PSMA PET? Dr. Aanchal, would you like to take this question?
In post-op setting, you are asking, sir, in this patient?
Yes. In post-op setting.
I don't think so, sir. PSMA PET, because in this patient, surgery has already been done, so there is no question. I don't think we should.
Patient has come to us after 3 months of surgery.
So we are not getting any imaging done if we are going ahead for adjuvant RT in this setting. If we are going for early salvage, in that case, if there is a lymph node in PSMA PET, then I would tailor my dose as per the PSMA PET findings. But if it is in adjuvant setting, then pre-op PSMA PET information, like I would not incorporate in the post-op adjuvant volume, sir.
Anybody disagrees with this?
Sir, just a small issue which I have with this is that, first of all, we need the operative details.
Yes.
We don't know what is the lymph node ratio which has been there. So if the surgeon has only done a very selective lymph node dissection, then there is residual disease. So this time it will mandate that you have to do a imaging, find out what are the nodes which are residual, and then we need to actually address them also.
Complete pelvic lymph node dissection based on the pre-op PSMA findings that there were a couple of suspected nodes in pelvis.
I think a PSA level at this point should guide whether we label it as salvage or adjuvant.
Yes.
Yeah, because we need to see like in which setting are we going to treat this patient. Be it if it is an adjuvant, then I think we should just ignore, like if it is a complete surgery, if we think that surgery has been done properly, then I think pre-op PSMA PET imaging findings are not going to change our treatment volume or lymph nodal dose. But if it is in salvage setting, then we are going to boost the lymph nodes if they are present in PSMA PET.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So the big question in this scenario is now or later. So adjuvant RT and salvage RT, we have already discussed. We have already discussed all these slides, so I'll just skip through this. But I would like to say that in the Stampede trial, one arm of Stampede trial had radiation with ADT in N+ disease, which showed improved outcomes, 157 clinically node positive non-metastatic CA prostate cohort. Radiation with ADT improved 2-year FFS to 89% versus 64%, even after adjusting for Gleason, PSA, age, and PS. And radicals at Graves trial have already elucidated that there is a definite need for adjuvant radiation in this setting, including the American Urological Association and ASTRO consensus guidelines speak of the same. There are multiple trials of positive nodal mets post-cancer, post-prostatectomy, which has shown that addition of ADT with radiation has much better overall survival benefits. So as far as radiation dose is concerned, we have already discussed. These are the NCCN guidelines. We'd like to concentrate here that ADT with or without EBRT is category 2B. But yes, there is an option of monitoring if the PSA level is undetectable. And PSA persistence recurrence we have already discussed. So what would you like to do for monitoring? Dr. Anurita, is she around? No.
Yes, sir.
Yes, ma'am. What would you like to do?
I mean, after we have excluded that the PSA is undetectable, so and we are going to actively monitor the patient.
Yes.
So in that case, there has to be a pre-standardized or predefined plan to follow the patient with repeated imaging as well as PSA monitoring and biopsies if required, if there is a PSA rise. So that has to be predefined.
If there is a PSA rise, we may consider for biopsy, but yes, PSA and physical examination and DRE is obviously the guidelines for monitoring these patients. And if there is a recurrence, we have to do this PSA ADT and bone soft tissue imaging. So coming to my last slides, last 1 or 2 odd slides, IMRT, IGRT plan or a proton plan? Which plan would you prefer? This question is open to all the panelists. Anybody?
IMRT, IGRT.
IMRT and IGRT. I think there is
Look,
no proton practitioner in this panel.
Whatever modality you use, image guidance has to be part of it.
No, proton therapy has a lot of side effects in terms of. No, proton therapy has a lot of side effect in the gastrointestinal complexity. So there are in this prostate, especially after radical prostatectomy, proton has not scored above IMRT, IGRT.
Correctly said, but Dr. Robin, I was expecting a different answer from you.
No.
Sir, I know the reality.
No. I totally agree with this. I was actually only looking into the oblique option. So I think if you choose IMRT, it cannot be alone IMRT. Whatever you use, whatever image guidance has to be there.
I'm sorry for the oblique option is IMRT with IGRT or proton.
I think the VMAT or rapid arc therapy is much more superior than simple IMRT because we can reduce the toxicity.
Yeah, correctly said, ma'am. But overall consensus is that any kind of modality during treatment is definitely required. But yes, as far as the proton plan is concerned, these are the lines from NCCN guidelines. Although dosimetric studies in silico cancer, just the right treatment planning can make an IMRT plan beat a proton plan, and vice versa. They do not accurately predict clinically meaningful endpoints. And patients receiving IMRT therapy had statistically significant lower GI morbidity than proton therapy, whereas rates of urinary incontinence, non-incontinence, urinary morbidity, sexual dysfunction, hip fracture, and additional cancer therapies, they are indistinguishable between the cohorts. So final line is that proton therapy plan for primary treatment of prostate cancer should only be performed within the context of a prospective clinical trial or a registry. So before I conclude with my last slide, any words of advice, Dr. Anurita,
Regarding,
final discussion endpoint?
okay, sir, my endpoint for this, I mean, slightly to differ. So this is a 75-year-old male who is diabetic.
1 point each panelist.
Sir?
1 point each panelist.
Yeah, just so for this, I would have gone for adjuvant RT straight away, because I don't know how long we will be able to actually follow the patient consistently. Given the age and the comorbidities, they don't tend to follow up with us.
Correct, Dr. Robin?
Yeah, I concur that given the scenario and in our Indian scenarios in particular, we should be considering adjuvant, especially when it's a high risk disease, a node positive disease, rather than waiting. Obviously, the patient has to be free of comorbidities. Thank you.
Correct. Dr. Narendra Bhalla? He's not here. Dr. Anu, ma'am?
I agree with that, because there is no second chance in malignancy. So we should treat him right away, and we should not wait for salvage therapy or anything.
Correctly said. Dr. Vikas, do you agree?
I will slightly differ here. I would like to go for early salvage RT, because in prostate we can get PSA done at 6 months interval. That should not be an issue during follow-up. So I'll keep an eye on PSA, and I would like to go for early salvage RT rather than adjuvant RT, because results are non-inferior, and in a patient with elderly patient with diabetes, we can reduce genitourinary toxicities and bowel toxicity by differing.
Your point is totally well taken. That's a different way of thinking, but yes, that's definitely a modality right now. Dr. Arun?
Yeah, I want to just state if in a elderly patient, the observation should be also kept in mind whenever possible. And but if patient is fit and having a good life expectancy, then it should be salvaged or early adjuvant RT to be offered. So that is my point.
Along with ADT?
Yeah, along with ADT and
adjuvant
RT. Yeah.
Dr. Shikha, would you like to say anything?
Sir, an elderly patient with diabetes should not have gone for surgery. This patient would take a long time to recover continence. And even if the goal is cure, adjuvant or salvage with ADT, that would be very difficult to initiate in this setting. So this patient should have, even if it was node negative on imaging upfront, he should have gone for radiation with or without ADT, depending on his diabetes control and his tolerance to hormone therapy. If surgery has already been done and he is fit, his diabetes is well controlled, adjuvant therapy for node negative, there is no concept of salvage. We have to offer ADT from the start, and we should offer radiotherapy at the earliest after recovery of continence. That's
correctly said. Correctly summed up. Achal, do you want to add anything apart from whatever has been said? Dr. Achal?
I agree with Dr. Shikha.
Yeah, can I add one more point? Although Dr. Shikha has rightly said there is, as per the evidence for all lymph node, we have to consider, but yes, if you have to take a call maybe in the future and a patient is paying and all, genomic profiling may become an option for such patients to make decisions as far as a salvage or adjuvant is concerned.
I purposefully did not broach that topic because it would have increased the length of slides. Dr. Arun Agarwal is not there with us, right?
Yeah.
So to sum up, observation, ADT with RT and ADT alone, all three are options in this patient. Am I correct?
Correct.
So these are the consensus guidelines from, this is my last slide, from Astro AUA guidelines consensus statements. So patient for radical prostatectomy in form of adverse pathological findings and to decide on adjuvant therapy. Adverse path features are SVI, positive margins, extra prostatic extension. They should be informed that adjuvant radiotherapy is an option. Advise adjuvant radiation whenever indicated. Inform patients of PSA recurrence after surgery. define biochemical recurrence, and if there is a need, repeat the confirmation, repeat a test, do restaging evaluation once PSA recurrence happens, and offer salvage RT in patient without meds. Inform patients that effectiveness of radiotherapy for PSA recurrence is greatest when given at lower levels of PSA rather than at higher levels of PSA, and offer hormone therapy in patients treated with salvage therapy, and inform of short and long-term toxicity to patients, as well as benefits of radiotherapy in controlling the disease recurrence. I would like to thank all my panelists for a wonderful panel discussion.